One of the classic French desserts is a caramelised apple tart. It involves caramelising some apples and also a pastry base and then assembling it all at the end, which is really, really easy to pull off. And it's a really impressive dish to do for people. We need some beautiful apples and we need to bake off some pastry tart shells. I'm not going to make my own pastry because there's great pastry out there already made for us, so why make it difficult for ourselves? And I just want that to thaw, start to soften a little bit. Okay, with my apples, I'm just going to peel and core these. And I tend to peel these in the old-fashioned way, just like I remember my Nana did when I was a kid. She was so impressive, she could get a whole apple worth of peel off in one go. I think for this dish, you can pretty much get away with whatever apples are in season, just as long as they're not mushy apples. I think that's the key. So you want somewhere between 1.5 to 2 apples per person, I think. And you can just get away with chopping them relatively roughly. Okay, my apples are done. So now I just want to cook off some pastry tart shells. So I'm just going to cut this sheet of pastry into a couple of decent sized squares for me to pile up my apples onto. So we just take those off, pop them in our tray or onto our oven tray, whatever you're using. And I always like to score them while they're on the tray. And when I talk about scoring, that is a cut that's not all the way through the pastry, it's just kind of more of an indent. And the reason we do this is that then when the pastry puffs up, the centre tends not to puff up as much, so that you kind of have this lovely border around the pastry when you can pile in your ingredients. So that's good. So into the oven this goes, to bake off. That's going to take about 15 minutes.
Toutes ces années passées ensemble, tous ces temps ensemble, les amours, c'est l'ensemble des grandes. Ça me tourne et je te dis adieu, adieu.
I'm a bit of a lazy cook, I don't mind admitting it. I like to make things really easy for myself on the day or the night that I've invited people over. I don't want to be doing everything at the last minute. And what I love most about this caramelised apple tart is everything can be pre-prepared. Now with caramel sauce, you really want to be watching it like a hawk the whole time. You sort of do need to get the quantities right, otherwise it's not going to toffee up, which is what we want. So into this pot, I'm going to put 100 grams of sugar. So I've got 70 mils of water in here. And what you want to do with caramel is you want all of the sugar to dissolve in the water before it comes up to a boil. Move your pan around a little bit like this in order to get that sugar starting to dissolve. So now I'm okay to allow the sugar and water solution to come up to the boil. And I really do want it to boil and get crazy. And it takes about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes at the most, before it goes from clear to golden to dark golden, which is kind of just when I want to grab it, and then it goes burnt. Okay? So it's, you know, something that you need to keep a little bit of an eye on. So I'm just noticing around the edges a little bit of honeyed colour starting to appear. So that tells me I'm on the right track. At this stage, you can sort of move your pan around a little bit. And I can smell that now it's gone from just sugary smell to now starting to be quite caramel. So turn our heat down a little bit, because now it will start to go from clear to golden very quickly. So at that stage, I'm taking it off the heat and I'm going to add my 2 remaining ingredients. And this may surprise you what they are: cream and butter. Now we need about 20 grams of butter. Just bring that back up to the heat just very briefly. Drop our butter in there so that it melts. So this is a little bit like a butterscotch sauce almost. And then in with my 100 mils of cream. And because that's sort of cold, I just want to get in there with a spoon and just stir out any lumps, and they will come out, don't freak out. Look, smooth, no lumps in there, absolutely fantastic. I can smell this, it's beautiful, it's caramel, it's creamy, it's buttery, it's sugary, and I want to take a little bit of a taste. That is so hot, that would be the end of my taste buds for quite some time. So resist the urge. Okay, in go my apples. Now the thing with your apples go from hard, crunchy apples to soft and mushy stewed apples quite quickly. So once they start to soften, they really go. And so again, this is something that, I mean, I'm not trying to scare you with this dish, it's actually really easy, but it just means you've just got to sort of stand around your pot and just have a bit of a look and make sure that they're softening up nicely. So even though we're sort of watching over this caramel sauce, really the whole dish from start to finish, you might be looking at 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, those apples now have just reached the right consistency, meaning that they are soft all the way through, but they have not gotten mushy. So still quite firm and holding their shape. That's what you want to get to. Grab those, they look great. And now all we have to do is we just have to take our beautiful apples and spoon them on top of our now quite warm pastry, and then just drizzle a bit more of that beautiful caramel sauce over there, and then a little bit of ice cream on the top. And I don't think we need a lot with this because it's already quite a rich dessert, isn't it? And there you have it, a caramelised apple tart made in a really easy way. Let's try it. Ooh. That takes you straight to a very good place.